What's going on? Welcome to the Crypto Harlem live stream. It's April 6th, and yeah, we're live. I have the old ticker up, so let me fix that. Um, I'll just, I guess I'll just trash it. Boom, gone. You've been gone. You've been tickered off or whatever, you know? Okay, so, yeah, what are we going to dive into today? Well, I thought I would like slow down a little bit and unpack what we do here. Also, I'm wearing this like green screen reactive whole get up. So let me fix that. But yeah, we're Crypto Harlem. Um, I'm Gemini Matt. Boom, up the opposite way that I want to go. So it's there. And yeah, like we're here to talk about all things cybersecurity, privacy, hacking, hacktivism, all that good stuff. I'm gonna lower down my greeniness or change out of this outfit. One or the other. One of those things has to happen. Guess I'll get rid of this. Let's take this off. Ugh. Woo. Almost went over my head. This almost became not a family program. Let me get the green back in. Oh man, this new camera. Gotta love it. So yeah, we are here in virtual Harlem. Um, I'd like to take pictures around Harlem and make them the backgrounds. So I think I need to swap this one out. I really like this one for no reason. So, yeah, stripping on cam, whatever it takes, anything for the subscribes and follows. That's what it's come down to. It's springtime. So for just one bit, I'll take this off, or whatever. So um, don't worry, it's not. We haven't gotten there yet. We're not at that level. Thanks, Heretic Hopes. Um, so yeah, I wanted to talk about some news because I don't always get to talk about current events. Um, I also thought I'd bring up the RSA conference because I was thinking about maybe going. So talk about that. Maybe get into what that's like from my experience and what I'm looking forward to from what's been scheduled. Um, so yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know. You know, it's it's a weird it's a weird panel. I was just looking at this one panel. I was like, yo, what a strange. Sometimes I wonder like uh they like how this whole thing is set up because it sometimes it's such a big conference and but it does tend to have some of the same folks, you know. Um and yeah, I always wonder like how we end up with that. It's like a certain vibe, you know. It's always a certain vibe. Um and maybe it's maybe yeah, I don't want to try to guess. So yeah, I don't know. It's always kind of, um it's always a little interesting. But I digress. Me talking about RSA is not the most exciting thing. So let's talk about the news. But before we talk about the news, let's put some music on. Let's put something on. Let's get some mood music going. Um, I think what I will do is I will ask you what I'll ask you, the listenership, those who are not listening like it's a podcast, those who are at a keyboard, to drop a genre into the chat, and I will pick something of that genre. Um, and yeah, let's see. And if I don't hear anything from you, then I'll just like randomly throw stuff out. But yeah, let's try to do that. Let's get back to that. I always kind of thought it was kind of fun. Um, that always could be cool. Also, maybe I'll make this one a little more interactive and We could talk more about Hacks, Leaks, and Revelations, the book, because we were going through that, and I promised that we would like every couple of weeks jump back in. Um, or we could talk about current events. Or if there's a third option, something else you'd like to talk about, let's do it. Let's do that. Okay. So I need a genre of music. Just drop that in the chat. Um, I need also, would you rather talk about like news or um, hacks, leaks, and revelations, the book, you know, and dive into some like how to handle some wild data. Let's do it that way. Techno, you got it. Techno's broad though, mad techno. What is there a kind of techno that you want to listen to? But otherwise, I'll just pull like a techno track that I like. But thank you, Heretic Hopes. You are the winner of genre of the show. And so this one goes out to you. It will be some techno. Um, as you know, we only can listen to cleared music, so it's not going to be like I was actually listening to this older track, which I can't even play because I get like a takedown notice. Um, um, by the producer Brutal. What was it called? Um, it was called like it's a classic one actually. I'm, I'm trying my I feel like my I could just pull up my music. Let me pull up my while we find some techno for you. Oh no! Oh no! Just okay. I have a lot of machines, and the setup here is like a sci-fi movie with a bunch of computers all around me, and one of them just face planted. And I really hope that it's okay because this is the second time I've done this to this poor machine, and it's not doing so good. Okay, so we got some more Heretic Hobes, Detroit techno, something Jeff Millsy. I got you. I got you. Okay, that I can do. All right, so no, that's not Detroit techno. That's not Detroit techno. Nope. Okay, yeah, that will have to do it. That's that's as good as we're gonna get today. So I'm gonna put this track on. I'll get one more because sometimes it gets a little repetitive when it loops for me personally as a fan of music. But there we go. This one goes out to Heretic Hopes. Appreciate you. Thanks for always tuning in. Thanks for being first with the genre drop. Um, all that good stuff. Uh, okay, what's going on is that? Hello, hello, Casey Mod. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to Planet Crypto Harlem. Uh, now we got to decide what we're going to do with the show today. We can dive into the news. Let's, I'll number them. We can dive into hacks, leaks, and revelations, which is like, step by step handling data leaks. Although I will tell you, um, I usually prepare for that one, so it could take a second for me to like get our virtual server up. Depends on how bad this laptop that face pointed is doing. Then number three option is we could just go through the library and everyday carry. Of me, your boy Gemini Man. So, boom. One is news. Two, hacks, leaks, revelations. Three, go through the library and everyday carry. We already, Casey Mod says news. Okay, Casey Mod, you get what you asked for. Anyone else? We could queue up the next thing. But, boom, Casey Mod, news. Going for it. Okay? Ooh, that's kind of I'm just getting one other track for you. Okay, cool. Now I got two. All right, let's do this. Let's jump in here. Um, okay, so first thing in the news I want to talk about is how slow. We talked about this last week. I forgot who was asking my thoughts about um, this vulnerability that was discovered really because someone noticed a 500 millisecond difference, and they like, wow, why is this data taking less, like half a second longer than it should, or whatever? That's really weird. And then uncovered a backdoor in a library that is like really important that everyone listens to. Sorry, everyone listens to, everyone uses. Um, so let me see if I can find it. And that's the whole like XZ backdoor, where Wired went in hard. They wrote mad stories about this. A lot of people didn't write stories, um, and they went in hard. They were like, "Yo." Oh, also, I should bring up. There was the AT&T hack, which I'm only going to talk about because I talked about it on TV. Um, AT&T hack that was uncovered by TechCrunch, you know, and then that can like round out our news. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of news. Okay. Um, there is one other thing I wanted to go over, so let me just pull it up real quick. Mhm. I want to get into the EU privacy law thing. Just going through what I wanted to cover. Then there's this ironic thing that happened. Okay, okay, let's see. Okay, first news item. It's in the New York Times, and it says UK lawmaker admits giving out colleague's number in honey trap scandal. William Ragg said he had been scared that a man he met on the Grinder dating app had compromising things on him and apologized for causing hurt. The messages targeted politicians, advisors, journalists, and even some of them struggled to remember even having met the offender. The text had accurate personal information. Soon they became flirtatious. Uh, some came with an explicit image. For several days, mystery surrounded the unsolicited WhatsApp messages that gripped British politics. The news media reported that two legislators had replied by texting back images of themselves. Um, and it happened because someone was being extorted, right? Um, and this person being extorted was a um, member of the Conservative Party, a lawmaker in the Conservative Party in the UK, and you know, like it's weird. It's a weird story. It's kind of strange, but basically, um, it's a privacy violation turned into an extortion, turned into potential cyber attack, or is that are people blowing it out of proportion? But let me um let me pull the story up. Sorry, I thought I was sharing. Yo yo yo, Jathan Pencer. UK lawmaker admits giving out colleagues' numbers in honey trap scandal. Right, and basically, this lawmaker met a guy on the Grinder dating app. Um, thought that this guy had compromising things on him, and then started getting extorted by him. And so whoever the person is on the other line, like who knows, right? But they asked for phone numbers of politicians. They asked for phone numbers of journalists. They had phone numbers of advisors, and he willingly gave the numbers up, try to placate this person. and calm them down. And I'll share the link here. You know, and it says some experts worry that the messages may be part of a spear phishing operation designed to elicit compromising information by a foreign power. But I don't know. I don't know if there's evidence on that. That seems. I'm not going to say far fetched because we know that there's this thing called a watering hole attack where you go to a place where people are more vulnerable because they trust the platform, and then from there you basically like branch out into phishing. You throw in some extortion over like uh, a lot of people who are on gay dating apps aren't like outward. They're not. They never came out to like their colleagues or to their constituents, politicians, people in the public, celebrities, etc. So this is something that could really happen to anyone. So I talk about it real quick. I'm just gonna put the link in the chat. Ooh. So yeah, I mean, there's a couple of articles on dating apps and how people who use them. It's kind of like LinkedIn, right? Like there used to be this thing called IC Watch, which was Intelligence Community Watch, and the way that IC Watch worked was, um, it used to be hosted. Let's see if this version of it still up. Uh, let's see. I know WikiLeaks took their copy of it down. Well, the code is still up. Let's see if it's been hasn't been updated in a long time. So I would say it's probably been abandoned. But the way that IC Watch worked or Intelligence Community Watch was it scraped LinkedIn for code names that were part of government leaks, like let's say the Snowden leaks or other leaks. If there's a top secret program, it would scrape LinkedIn looking for people who might have mentioned that program. And because people have a weakness that is like they need a job, they need money in a capital society, you have to trade your precious, amazing free time for funds, right? Well, that was the weakness that was exploited by IT Watch. There's a Wikipedia entry about this, right? And what I don't want to say like IC Watch exploited people, but what I'll say is like it exploited a vulnerability, right? Is that people trust the platform, right? And they forget they're on the open internet, where we already know the open internet is a scary, horrible place, right? So when people trust the platform, in this case LinkedIn, like I'm looking for a job, looking for a new place to trade my time for money, well, then I might go to LinkedIn and try to do that and expose that I'm an intelligence operative, right? By mentioning I did this, I oversaw like a $1 billion secret drone program, or like, well, that drone program is classified or not well known. So that's what IC Watch did, and then it created a searchable database of all these different people who were involved in the intelligence community, even after they retired or left the intelligence community, and then it followed the people they followed, and sometimes you'll find like 5 people who worked in intelligence, and then they all follow this one fixed person who like claims to just be like a used car dealer or something, right? And that just looks unusual, and maybe that person actually isn't a used car dealer. Maybe they're actually part of a network of spies or something like that. So that's how that works. And again, just exploits people's vulnerability, trusting a platform, you know. And that happens on dating apps all the time. And I know that Tactical Tech had written on this, and so had Kaspersky. They'd also written on that, and I think they had some. I think they had some stats on. They were doing an update on their 2021 um, story. So let's see if I can look it up. No cookies. Okay. Let me get this into it. All right, I'm just gonna clear my cookies. Um, and anyway, so going back to the story, which I will share, okay, because there's a point to this. Um, is that when you're on a platform, a dating platform, maybe you're lonely, maybe you're hopeful, maybe you're feeling romantic, maybe you're feeling desperate. You forget that you're on the open internet with anyone who could be a government threat actor, who could be someone who doesn't have your best interest in mind. And what Kaspersky found in their research, which I'll share, as you know, your boy has an encyclopedic uh, reference and knowledge of all these different research papers. This one is from this year, and it's from February 14, Valentine's Day. They thought they'd be cute and just drop these Valentine's Day dating app articles. They always do well when you drop it around that time. So they understand while these blogs get picked up by regular news. Ooh, delicious. The Harlem, whatever you pour in a Crypto Harlem mug tastes cryptographically delicious. The Harlem mug available now, operators are standing by at cryptoharlem.com. So nearly a quarter of that's not a real ad, but it's true. Those things are true. You can get a mug. We do sell them. So speaking of capitalism, a little extra capital humor. Okay. So um, the survey found that a third of the people who responded believe that Googling and checking social media accounts of a person that they started dating as a form of due diligence is acceptable. And 41% attempted to do so when they started dating someone. 90% of the respondents said that they are willing to share passwords that could potentially allow their location to be accessed. And that big headline is nearly a quarter of online daters experience digital stalking. So I'll share this to just say, understand that. Oh, also, like, let me just put the IC watch. Did I put the IC watch link to learn more about the now defunct IC watch tool. You know, which is just a web scraper. The code's on GitHub. You can point it at anything. You can use it to scrape for anything. I imagine if the code's like 8 or 9 years old, that the API needs to be updated the way that it hooks into LinkedIn or scrapes it. I'm sure that the DOM, the document object model for the page has changed, but those are really minor things to fix. And then you could probably have your own version of a LinkedIn scraper. Because people that overshare on LinkedIn because they see it as an opportunity to make more money, right? And same thing on dating apps. People overshare. So be careful because as Sarah John's book, The Internet of Garbage, teaches us, the internet is full of a lot of harmful people. Most of us don't experience the full internet. We experience the internet filtered through millions and millions of dollars of moderators on Facebook or Threads or whatever platform. There's trust and safety people. There's a team there. But when you open up to just any particular user, anything could happen. So be careful online. And here's that Kaspersky research on how dating apps empower users to become surveillors and um, and also how you know uh, large percentage of people get stalked. They get cyber stalked from using a dating app. And let me just put that link out. Boom. Okay. Thanks everyone for tuning in today to the Crypto Harlem live stream. I'm just gonna do a quick roll call. That's when I look into my magic crystal ball and I see you on the other end of the screen and I just say what's up. Don't worry, that's not true. None of that's true. That doesn't really happen. I just am gonna call your name. Thanks for being part of it. Zero Zero Leah, thank you so much for being part of the Crypto Harlem live stream. Appreciate you so much. Okay. Um, Eight Vibes, thank you. Appreciate you. Eight Row, thank you as well. ASMR Mew, thanks for watching us. Casey Mod, Country Anam Mo, Kojo, thanks for being here. Donk 7, of course. Donk 7, Jack Snap, Heretic Hope, who's time for us to change your techno music, Heretic. Heretic Hope, thanks for giving us the genre that we're listening to every show, which is every week. We ask you, the audience, to pick a genre. And we got some fake Detroit techno coming at you. Here's a new track, another fake Detroit techno track. This one goes out to Heretic Hope again. Thanks for the genre choice. Let me know if it gets too loud. You're listening to fake Detroit techno at the Crypto Harlem live stream. And by your, I mean Mark thinks and together. Usha, thank you so much. Ruja, live in the house. Security for good. Security for good. I was doing good. No security for good. And Tarsai. We're down. In the moderator chair, we got a draw thing. Thanks, draw thing. Keep doing those things. So yeah, just understand that there's a lot of horrible things that you'll be exposed to on a user to user. You know, like when you're playing a video game and it's like PvE, like player versus enemy. The internet's like PvP all day. Like PvP, like everyone's a boss. Just be careful out there. Player versus player. You know what I'm saying? Oh, hey, D-Elixir, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you out there. I need to refresh. Didn't see you in your moderator seat. Thank you. Okay, so another news article. It's not an article, it's audio, and I feel like I can't share it because it's audio. Because it's kind of like a, you know, let's go to this article. Remember last week we were talking about the XZ hack and how slow the actual news is to cyber news? So I was like, this is probably going to be reported in a week or a day or whatever. Well, yep, here you go. Did one guy just stop a huge cyber attack? And a Microsoft engineer noticed something was off on a piece of software he worked on. He soon discovered someone was probably trying to gain access to computers all over the world. And this is a story by Kevin Ruth. And yeah, you know. And I don't know, like we talked about this last week, so I don't want to spend too much time on it. I don't know, let's see if I could find a. I like my favorite thing about New York Times or like dominant news, like classic news, talking about cyber attacks and stuff. Like, is the way that they try to make the information like available and useful to all people is usually not. They don't always do as good a job. And this is my favorite part of this article. Trying to get into the cyber attack. Wait, hold on. We got pull out your glow sticks, everybody. We're building. We're building. Get to the bridge. Okay. Lower down. Okay. So hopeful. Um, and in the article it says, in particular, talking about the Microsoft here, he found that someone had planting malicious code in the latest version of XZ utils. The code, known as a backdoor, would allow its creator to hijack a user's SSH connection and secretly run their own code on that user's machine. Why would you even get into this level of detail if you're about to drop the weirdest analog about a bakery, maybe somebody was hungry, in the next paragraph? Like, why even get into like it was a SSH connection, you know? Because then they jump back into in the cybersecurity world, a database engineer inadvertently finding a backdoor in a core Linux feature is a little like a bakery worker who smells a freshly baked loaf of bread, senses something is off in the bread, and correctly deduces that someone has tampered with the entire global yeast supply. What? This one gets huh? Yeah, like what? What yeast supply? The global yeast supply for bread? What are we talking about? Well, how did we get here? Is this making this less complicated, or am I like now you're freaking people out? I mean, I could quote that the New York Times is talking about someone who's tampered with the entire global yeast supply. Like it's weird. It's a weird line. I'm sorry. So no disrespect. I know how hard it is. Just trust me, it's what I do all day, every day out here at Crypto Harlem is take the complex and make it useful and just broadcast it. But I would call this a miss. It's the kind of intuition, and by kind of intuition, they're talking about a baker who can smell yeast, that requires years of experience and obsessive attention to detail, plus a healthy dose of luck. Um, and again, this is like going over the findings of the Microsoft engineer who wrote in a blog like basically like how he was deducing all this stuff. Um, Come on, Andres Freund, 38-year-old software engineer who lives in San Francisco and works at Microsoft. So Andres, you saved the world. Props to you. Okay, so you get, of course, the chance, and the future generations of the world want to say thank you, but not to the New York Times for that really weird bread analogy. You know what I'm saying? So, like as one would deduce, detecting a backdoor in code is like smelling an infected yeast of the global supply of bread that can be baked by only like I'm no, you get the yeah. Sorry, you lost me. I just wanted to share that one with y'all. But again, also to the world, this is new, but to us, this is old because we follow the hacker news. Hacker news is always going to win, always going to be ahead. So yes, you got to follow everybody on Mastodon and props to the Mastodon team, Felix, Eugene, Enga, Sam, Mastodon all day. Yes, we have to follow them on Mastodon. Yes, you got to follow people on Threads. Yes, you got to follow them on some random obscure social platform now that everyone is like scattered into the wind since Elon took over Twitter, which I refuse to call X, right? But yeah, Instagram, TikTok, you got to be on all that. But if you're on all that, your reward is reading tomorrow's news today. Because Hacker News moves fast. It takes days before your average tech reporter picks up on this stuff. So stay in the future, y'all. Keep tuning in. Okay, other thing I wanted to share. Gotta find it. Do I want to talk about malware? A threat actor has been observed targeting victims in several Asian and Southeast Asian countries with malware designed to harvest valuable data. It's going back at least till May 2023. Cisco Talos, which is one of the largest, if not the largest, threat intelligence organization in the world. Obviously, we know Cisco from networking. The Talos brand is like amazing team of the best in cybersecurity and intelligence gathering. If you're retired from being an expert on this, that's where you make your money. That's where you go to Cisco Talos, drop the Talos in. Um, and they decided to talk about these targeted campaigns in India, China, South Korea, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Indonesia, and Vietnam. Um, and it's like a combination of using like remote access tools and scripts and malware, and it's a really innovative thing. And the operators of this tool, which they call Coral Radar, are based in Vietnam. I'll share this tab. It was an interesting article to me. I always like to hear about new techniques that are innovative using older strategies, just remixing them, like the techno's been remixed. Um, so I'm gonna share this boom, and I'll put that out here. Boom, Coral Raider. You know, here's a news article in the Hacker News. Okay, not to be confused with Y Combinator Hacker News. And of course, for the nerds, we're gonna go over to Cisco Talos, and we're gonna read the Coral Raider report a little bit. Just get into it lightly. Okay. Talos, of course, is known for their awesome graphics and amazing artwork. Sometimes so photorealistic, you're like, who drew this? It's bringing tears to my eyes. It's modern art. So let's jump over to the real report over here. Look at this shark, huh? Isn't that amazing? Isn't that the best art you've ever seen? No disrespect to the artist that made this shark. I like how the fish in the corner there's like these three fish, like, and then there's two fish on the side. It's just a whole situation here. So, where did you guys get this art from? Let me see if it's credited. No, it's not. I wonder what they call this thing. The name of this graphic is Image 12. Not very, not very exciting. There's no Image 13. There's no Image 11. It's just Image 12. I guess that's the CMS that they use over at Cisco Tower. So Image 12 it is. What a beautiful rendition of a shark. Coral Raider targets victims' data and social media accounts. Cisco Talos discovered a new threat actor, brand new, hot off the scene, that they call the Coral Raider. Because I guess, I don't know if you're raiding the Coral. I don't know why it's Coral Raider. They believe that this team is of Vietnamese origin and financially motivated. Who isn't financially motivated? It's hard out there for a kid, you know what I'm saying? It's not easy on these digital streets. Coral Raider's been operating since 2023 at least. They focus on stealing victims' credentials, financial data, and social media accounts, including business and advertising accounts. And they use something called a RodBot, which is a customized version of the Quasar remote access tool, X client stealer as a payload. We've seen it all before. Let me share this. Did I share the link to this? Let's share the link to the actual proper write-up. If you're more technical as a listener, some of y'all out there, props to you. Definitely check out this after you read that article from the Hacker News. Talks about who's targeted, talks about how they target, has some like can I zoom in? Kind of tries to show the IOCs. The attacker used Telegram bots, a debug bot for debugging an online bot where the victim's data was received. Kind of like passing a rugby ball around, so you can see that. Boom. Here's how this works. Pretty wild, you know. Look at that, so clean. This bot is so clean. All client one, client offline 0, client online 1. So it has like a little flag there. It has a hash for when it's been updated. It's version 5, the IP address. It's just going in, you know. What a well-designed little tool. And here we can see they found 2 other images that revealed a few folders on the OneDrive. One of the folders had a Vietnamese name, Bot Export Shed, which is the same one as one of the folders in the PDB. Pivoting on the folder path, PDB string, we discovered a few other PDB strings, so that had used different Vietnamese names, and this is where they're trying to make the case like why they think this comes from Vietnam. Interesting. Not a smoking gun, but you know, it's hard. It's hard to track throws, and Here's the whole like little kill chain, a little summary of how this attack happens. It's very exciting. And here's a little piece of the payload that's dropped. Then they also go into X client stealer a little bit, um, which I'm sure there's actually quite a lot of write-ups on. Let me try to find that for you real quick. Blog, talosintelligence.com. Let's see if I can put this down real quick. Nope. Oh man, people are really going. This looks very. Um, this is a Medium post by Mitri Doggy, and this is definitely looks like artificial intelligence generated. Uh, looks like a monster made out of coral. Very cool graphic. If I was the hacker group known as Paul Ritter, I would grab this graphic and make it my official. How cool it is. You're like a little merman action here, merhuman, you know. It is weird. It has like a little bit of a face in there. Am I the only one who sees the face in there? But other than that, yeah, it's pretty cool graphic. It's a whole coral monster. Um, and I will share this because it has. Let's see. Try to tell the full story. Oh, it just jumps back. Just jumps back into basically taking all the tallow stuff and just writing some text about it. But not really. It's almost like a reprinting the article. So I'm not even going to share that with you because canonical sources only. You know what I'm saying? Only the highest quality for your eyeballs. Okay. Um, so I want to talk about them. Any questions, thoughts, reflections, feelings? Heritage Code, how you feeling about the music? You want me to switch it up? Is it? I know it's not really. I have another track. Let me put another track. That's kind of Detroit techno esque. This one's more mellow. It's less amped. Um, we didn't talk about this Change Healthcare ransomware attack, but eh, like let's see if I can find how big the ransom is up this. They paid $22 million. This was at the end of last month. So did want to talk about ransomware. This is the New York Times talking about ransomware cyber attacks on healthcare providers. In case you don't know, there's this company called Change Healthcare, which really does a lot of billing and financial stuff for hospitals. So it's a giant processor for doctors and hospitals and all these other things. And they received a ransomware attack. It just locked down everything. They were like not in a good place. Happened in February 21st of this year. and they paid a ransom of like I think it was like $22 million. Something like that. Yeah, 22 million. You know, um, and I'll show you the story in Wired. Again, the transactions visible on the Bitcoin blockchain suggest that the victim, one of the worst ransomware attacks in years, may have paid a very large ransom. And it's just cheaper for hospitals to pay the ransom, right? So, um, and if you're monitoring the wallet of the different hacker groups that are involved, you know, uh, like Black Hat or you know, I call them Alpha, but you can call them Alpha 5 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? 350 bitcoins on March 1st, and it wouldn't be hard because obviously everything in the blockchain is open and transparent to trace these transactions and just see them. And yeah, the hospital caved, um, and it says that this is credited to Dmitry Semyanets from Recorded Future, who spotted the post that Change Healthcare has likely paid the ransom. You can see the number of coins that landed there. You don't see that kind of transaction so often, which is true. It's a lot of Bitcoin, you know. So, yeah, again, that's what happens. It's very expensive, and your options are limited once you've already had all your machines encrypted. Um, I was just talking to my homie the other day about how hospitals are doing, like reapproaching everything, not just their cybersecurity, but even like how they lay out their IT, how they work on their networks, all this other stuff. Props to Faisal, who was talking to me about network segmentation and how to really make it that when a node gets taken down, it doesn't spread any further. Because a lot of times, like, why would billing be attached to reception, be attached to accounting, be attached to whatever? Um, and how within one network you can just have several networks and things like that. So again, you know, just it's a thing that happened. It's one of the largest ransoms that have been paid in years. Healthcare is susceptible to this issue. There's not a lot of options. I always say like one, if they're not if the hackers aren't extorting you and threatening to publish the information of all the like, patients and doctors, hospitals, and the maps online, a backup can get you back on your feet, business continuity wise. If they're threatening to do that, $22 million can go a long way as to like fixing your cybersecurity so it doesn't happen again. Because it is a gamble. Like, will the people holding your stuff ransom, will they really play nice with you? Something you'll never know. You can never know. Okay. So, all right, done with that one. Um, let's see. And BX Underground is reporting, also in the news. Friends of BX Underground, remember, if you haven't picked up a copy of BX Underground Black Mask 1 or BX Underground Black Mask 2, you don't mind reading code on a paper book, enjoy it, pick it up, or get the digital version. It's waiting for you. Anyway, any real deal hacker bookshelf is naked without a copy of Black Mass 1 or Black Mass 2 by BX Underground. They are claiming that U.S. Um, restaurant chain Panera Bread got hit by ransomware. You know, um, and so you go to this article from Bleeping Computer. I wish I could get to it. Panera Bread, man, that's a lot of bread. Using the slang for money. Okay, here's an article by Lawrence Abrams. Panera Bread week-long IT outage which caused by ransomware attack. So if you see a service that's not running as normal as it's supposed to, and it's likely a ransomware attack, right? Why would Panera Bread have an outage that lasts for so long? It's strange. They would be IT team. They probably have money, close gas. Bleeping Computer has learned that a ransomware attack encrypted many of the company's virtual machines, preventing access to data and applications. The company has since restored some of its systems for backup. It's unclear which ransomware group is responsible for the attack, as none have claimed responsibility. So it's interesting though, like the virtual machines were hit. Um, Numerous employees told Bleeping Computer the company has not shared any information, and they are concerned with the company's lack of transparency, as I am too. So thanks, Panera Bread employees, for leaking the story and this whole like we're working on it. Like it's weird when a company is dealing with a ransomware attack and they don't go public because it can lead to really bad decisions, like making it all go away, hopefully by paying the ransom, or being hasteful. So if you pay for a Panera Sip Club and you weren't able to get your soup or whatever it is for $15 from one of the 2,116 Panera Bread, now you know why. It was a secret ransomware attack. They didn't want. Hopefully, this will motivate them to make a public statement and share the information and help other people as well. And yeah, there was a couple more things I wanted to share on current events before we wrap. As you know, I normally don't talk 30 minutes an hour. May 6th to May 9th is the RSA conference. So I just wanted to talk about that. RSA conference is in San Francisco, and I'm considering heading out that way. Um, there's some awesome keynote speakers, quite a lot of talks going on. Friend of Crypto Harlem. Well, first of all, this is great. The cryptographers panel is always good. So Whitman Diffie from Diffie-Hellman Encryption, private keys in the house. Respect on that long hair. No, it's not Kenny Rogers. No, it's not the gambler. Okay, it's not. No disrespect, only respect. Respect me in the house. Okay, so Whitman Diffie looks like a superhero of encryption. You know, like if I was, looks like if you watch the Marvel movies, looks like Zeus. Is that was it Zeus? Thor's dad, right? Like right, you know, so it looks like that scene right before like Loki and Thor and Zeus. They're gonna say goodbye and he's gonna like fade out or whatever. You know, maybe he was not fading out. Maybe he was just getting encrypted. You know, maybe that's what was actually happening. But no, um, it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be a good one. Don't miss it. Be there. You know what I'm saying? Thor will be there. Loki will be there. Zeus will be there. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Make it happen. So that'll be a good one. Let me see if I can. Is it Zeus? No. Man, who was it? Who is it? It's not Zeus. It's uh I'm not even gonna bother. I'm not even gonna bother. Oh, you're surprised I see adverts? I just use a regular browser on here, Heretic Hopes. I'm not using like super encrypted browser. I don't use like my Tor browser on the show. You know what I'm saying? So that's why. Um, Sometimes VX messages read like my messages. You know what? You know what? Maybe it's just the vibe. Maybe they just copy the kid. You know, maybe that's why. Right? So in the age of AI, everything is the art of possible by Eileen Isagan Skyers, art and code mentor at New Ink. So that'll be really cool because props to New Ink. Um, we're all bound up in the implications of AI, whether we're conscious of it or not. She offers, Eileen Isagan Skyers, a glimpse into the creative possibilities of human and machine collaboration. She will guide an inspiring walkthrough covering the work of various artists who use AI as a tool. So this is like a whole situation here. It's going to be really cool. And if I go, I will definitely catch it. Um, Props to Salome Sega. Props to everyone part of the New Ink fam. You know what I'm saying? So boom. let me go move on. Uh, this one. hmm Then the next one I would probably check out, of course, Bruce Schneier, my homie Bruce, BS in his house. Put your hands together, put respect on that man's name. I don't know what Marvel character he would be. Um, you know, he used to be somebody cool, you know. So he'd be like the Professor X of some kind of like X-Men 97, but like cryptographer hacktivist group. You know what I'm saying? Um, Photographing nature and expanding human understanding. The Doris Mitch. So interesting. There's so many artists at RSA this year. You know, um, Nico will be there. The first decade of corporate ransomware. The first Bitcoin-enabled ransomware attack target companies was discovered in 2014. It's now been a decade. What have we learned? What do we know? What about ransomware? MH will tell you. So putting respect on Miko's name. Boom. Um, with Secure, which I mean, wasn't the company called Fortinet or I forget, but but with Secure it is now. So Ruman Chowdhury will be talking about AI safety. Props to Ruman, my homie. That's cool. Um, that'll be a good one. And what else was I looking at? This is a really guffy one. Apocalypse Avoided the Future According to the Four Horsemen of Cyber. Um, that could be fun. Jen Ishali is always a great presenter. It depends how people want to share. I always look for like, you know, trace things, Um, yes, Tara Wheeler's talking. Oh, Terrence from Sands is going to be part of the 5 most dangerous new attack techniques that you need to know about on May 8th. And that's always cool. Sands crew always on the cutting edge there. They're great courses, great certifications. Yeah, definitely peep that. Um, and yeah, I think that's all I got, right? So these are all going to be great talks, but those are the ones that I probably check out. And of course, closing celebration with Alicia Keys. What? Join us as we celebrate the closing of RSA 2024. Priority will be given to the full conference, Expo Plus, speaker, and media pass holders with limited seating available for College Day Expo and booth pass holders. Limited seating, commoners. This is only for the VIPs chilling with Alicia Keys. You know what I'm saying? So, how's that? So much swag this year at RSA, you know? People say it's just about encrypting and securing printers and it's really boring, but you got Alicia Keys, maybe Swiss Beats will be there. You never know. I don't know. So I don't know how long that party. Getting on that party list is that's what I need to do. I need to make sure I get to go. So yeah, it's the beginning of that. It was like a lot of dudes and manuals. So it is nice to see women, heretic hopes. Nice to see women always. I know you're talking about the actual RSA conference. You're not just saying it's nice to see women in general, although that's always nice too. Nice to see all people again. Um, and there was a post in latest hacking news, and this was about OWASP. Our friends at OWASP, and there was a data breach disclosed because of a misconfigured wiki web server, and that people who joined OWASP from 2006 to 2014, like, and at that time, OWASP had asked people to show their resumes to show connection to OWASP, and while that was just a membership step, and they didn't keep doing it, the information it has been breached. So if you're a member of OWASP from before 2014, you old school, you're an OG, OGOWASP, OGOWASP. If you're OGOWASP, then yo, it's real out there. How ironic. OWASP just teaches us about vulnerabilities in code and how to protect the web and all our favorite apps and application security. They themselves showing how hard it is to keep this stuff secure. Um, they themselves are involved in the data breach. So, of course, our hearts go out to our friends at OWASP. Thanks for being so clear and disclosing this information. Here's the post: OWASP data breach notification from March 29th. Who's affected? Anyone who's a member of 2006 2014. How does OWASP protect current membership data? We use modern cloud-based security best practices such as two-factor, minimum access, and resiliency. And I think I'm infected. What do I do? We've already removed your information from the internet, so no immediate action is required on your part, according to OWASP. I don't know. But again, this article we got it in the Bad Rabbit, not Bad Bunny. Don't want to create a lawsuit, and the crew over at Latest Hacking News. OWASP discovered data breach affecting old members, and that doesn't mean that if you're a member and you're a senior, you're affected. It's not talking about the old members. It can happen if you're a teenager too. Okay, so all right, not so funny. Breach jokes aren't funny. I try to remember that, but I violate every time. You know. I did want to talk about this new web tunnel technology that Tor has explained and rolled out, which helps make pluggable transports more censorship resistant. And so, if you are a fan of the Tor browser and you're concerned about um, censorship and being not be able to get into the Tor network, like previously your only option were bridges, right? But now you have this new option, which is the web tunnel, you know? So if you need a web tunnel, you pick up a web tunnel, in a regular browser, you can grab one, download Tor, plug that baby in, and maybe you're able to use Tor in places where you weren't. Just gonna share that post. Always great to hear from the folks at Tor. Maybe we'll have some Tor folks on next week to talk to y'all. That'll be kind of a fun show. I would like to try to make that happen. No promises. Special guest next week will be somebody awesome. Stop panic. How do I tell this? Does anyone remember how to tell it to stop panic? AI camera, stop panic. I think I do that. Okay. So, don't worry. This isn't going to be a supersized Crypto Harlem. We're gonna rap. We're not gonna rap like, straight from the dome. My parents cannon. I don't know what's going on. Why you cannon? So not that kind of rap. That was a very bad example of rap, by the way. But I was distracted by the panning camera. It's out of control. Stop. How do I stop it? Wait, what was it? It's not the gun. I think I do this. Okay, yeah. Whew. Thanks, cameraman. Robot cameraman in the house. Are you a robot cameraman? Do you think that you can use Tor when it's centered, maybe with the web tunnel? Okay. Last message is just about quantum resistant encryption and Apple. This story is again in Latest Hacking News, and it talks about Apple's February announcement about PQ3, level 3 standard of end-to-end encryption. In 2023, Signal introduced their quantum-resistant use of it, and now Apple is talking about how they're using, their own like post-quantum cryptographic elliptical curve cryptography answer to protect you from super machines and their ability to make decrypting encrypted things trivial. So let's see if we can find that. Boom. Apple PQ3. Here's that official message from Apple on post-quantum 3 in iMessage. And there you go. So this is the sad part of the show. If you're still out there, we're going to do one last roll call. Then we're going to wrap. You have your day back. Enjoy your Saturday. There was an earthquake in the Northeast, and it impacted the New York City, New Jersey area. it was wild to see everything shaking and swinging, and it really helps me think, put it all in perspective. There's no warning of an earthquake; it just can happen at any second, and you never know. You know that how precious this time is. I'm so grateful to be able to spend this with you, and for you to tune in live and say what's up. It means everything to me. So thank you so much. And when I say thank you, I'm saying thank you to a drawer of things, and thank you to D Elixir, VIPs, moderators, making it all happen, okay? But also to out in the audience, Zero Zero Leo, see you. 8 Row, see you too. You know what I'm saying? Hey hi, ASM Miley, thanks for still being there, you know what I'm saying? You could have dropped, could have said this would enough. I have a Saturday. Casey Mod could have been like, I got better things to do, but you're still here. Spencer and I'm here, too. You know what I'm saying? Dunk 7, Gang Free, Jack Snap, all of that, you know? Heritage Tells, of course. Thanks for giving us a second out. Jason Pencer, thanks for saying yo, yo, yo. If you don't follow Jason Pencer, follow Jason Pencer. If you don't follow us, please just follow. Martin, Pusha, Regress, Security for Good. Yo, Security for Good. How'd you do with that with the website? Can we be keeping it? Can we be watching together? And Firefly. Thank you. Okay? So hope you like today's show. It's very news heavy. You know, we went in with the news. We went news. We went full on news aficionado. Speaking of news, we're gonna close with your boy Gemini Matt from Crypto Harlem on the local news. Thanks, local Fox 5 News New York, for having Crypto Harlem on to talk about the AT&T hack. And so I'm just gonna close out with that, and then we're gonna be gone. Okay? Stop the techno. All right, everybody. So take the best care of yourselves, and we'll see you next week. Encrypt. Stay safe and secure. Closing it out with me talking at a bunch of people in New York pre-earthquake.
Of AT&T data breach. It's affecting more than 73 million current and former customers.
All right, so why was former customers' data still being held, and how can you find out if you've been affected? Fox 5's Arthur Chen looked for answers and joins us live in studio with the latest. Arthur.
Steve, Natasha, learning a lot tonight, and we begin with crediting the online site TechCrunch for uncovering this massive breach, which experts we are talking to tonight say actually happened as many as 5 years ago, which means attackers may have been using all the stolen personal data for years, even though the victims of this are just now finding out about it.
If you've been the victim of identity theft in the past, this AT&T breach may have been the reason.
The AT&T breach involves some 73 million customers, including over 65 million of which were no longer with AT&T, but whose crucial private information the company appears to have kept anyway. Hackers got social security numbers, dates of births, physical addresses, and emails, all found being sold on the dark web. Cyber experts like Matt Mitchell say the damage will be incredibly hard to undo.
We can't change our date of birth. We can't easily change our social security number. It has addresses and first and last names, which is enough for someone to damage credit or pursue identity theft.
Mitchell and others are also alarmed that hackers got AT&T PIN codes, and experts worry when it comes to numerical PIN codes, consumers usually use the same numbers, including for things like debit cards. AT&T previously denied they've been hacked, but now the company says it's not sure if the hacker got in from their system or from a vendor outside their system.
The fact that they're giving this to other parties that presumably are using this for marketing or other purposes like this, it just shows that they don't necessarily value your privacy.
So quickly, here are 3 steps our cyber experts say we all should take now, even for those who have not been AT&T customers. First, log on to the website Have I Been Pwned, where you can find out if your data's been stolen.
You can type in your email address. It's one of the few safe websites that'll just tell you if your email is in any known data breach or leak.
Second, place a security freeze on your credit reports.
If you're in a situation where you're not going to be going and taking out a line of credit or buying a home or doing something like that in the near future, putting a freeze on your credit isn't just in general a good idea to do.
And lastly, use a password manager.
It really doesn't matter which password manager you use. If you have an iPhone or an Apple device, it might say, this looks like a login and I want to make a password for you. Have it do that. It'll be a very strong password.
Well, AT&T tonight is telling Fox 5 that it's unclear if the data came from them, although AT&T account numbers and their passcodes are part of the breach. We asked how long the company keeps the personal information of former customers and how they use that information. We are still waiting to hear back from them on that. Steve, Natasha.
Yeah, really interesting. All right, Arthur, thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
On the Money Watch, AT&T says it's notifying customers of
cybersecurity experts. Who are they? Yes, personally identifiable information needs to be encrypted. There's standards on that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So many privacy standards, as you will, you know. And it's important. But who knows where this random information that a hacker was selling on a dark web type hacker site came from. Could have came from a third party, could have been compiled by hackers themselves, could have came, you know, like obviously. So, you know, maybe it was decrypted for some use and that's where it was taken from. Who knows? But yeah, follow those steps. Haven't been pwned, all that good stuff. I said I was gonna go and I lied. Here I am still yapping. Peace. Time for me to break my intermittent fast and eat something. Okay. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Respect.